So the A7R Mark IV dropped this week, and there are about 3 features that people are just skimming over that are huge. Today we're going to talk about them. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? My name is Ty Turner, and if this is your first time on this channel is designed for people like yourself who want to turn their passion into profit. I like to call you guys contentpreneurs. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about this. The first and very first thing that you need to understand about the A7R Mark IV, and what I believe to be the most important feature, is 15 stops of dynamic range. Now, people say, well, why is that a big deal? You got 14 out of the last one. Because 15 stops of dynamic range puts you in just a higher end camera market. It puts you in with medium formats. It puts you up there with reds. It puts you up there with a lot of expensive sensors. And for $3,500 to get 15 stops of dynamic range is ridiculous. Let's just start there. It's ridiculous. And 15 stops of dynamic range is huge out of a mirrorless cameras. For years, there's been competitions on megapixels and low light, and but nobody wanted to really touch the dynamic range area. So to get 14-bit uncompressed 15 stops of dynamic range out of an A7R Mark IV is mind-blowing. It's nuts. Go and look at tests from other high-end cameras, the 1DXs, the Nikons. They get around 13 and a half, maybe 14.3 on the Richter scale of dynamic range. So to have this camera come out of the gate and say 15 stops of dynamic range is absolutely ridiculous for a mirrorless camera. Feature number 2 is not megapixels. Megapixels are cool. I think Fuji just announced a 100 megapixel camera. I'm not crazy about megapixels. That's just me. I own an A7R Mark III. I don't deliver an image to a client in 40 or 50 megapixels. It just doesn't happen. It's something that is often used as a selling feature because we got more buy over here. And people say, well, if you're filming for billboards and posters, you need megapixels. I personally don't think you need anything over a 25 megapixel camera. That's just my opinion. There's no scientific proof behind it, but I have yet to deliver a image that was over 25 megapixels, and I've shot for a lot of companies, high end and low end. They're just not asking for a huge 50 megapixel image, even for product photography. Number 2 for me is real-time autofocus. Real-time face recognition, real-time eye recognition is huge for photography, especially for sports photography. And this isn't even their sports camera. So you can imagine what the A9 Mark IV and the A7 Mark IV is going to be, how much faster it's going to be. Because remember when the A7 III dropped this, the autofocus was pretty fast for that particular camera in its lineup at the time. Now, it's crazy fast, and they're calling it real time. So my feature number 2 definitely is the upgrade in autofocus. And that's huge for event photographers, action photographers. Let's pause with sports because, I don't use my A7R III for sports, though you can. I have friends that shoot Major League Baseball. They're not too crazy about the A7 III for sports, though it keeps up. They're just not too crazy about it. So I think with improvements to autofocus like this, it helps with lenses that aren't Sony, because it makes those lenses better. It doesn't close the gap. However, if you're shooting with a Sigma and you're getting 85% of the performance you would get, compared to shooting with a Sony lens, that gap is going to probably close to about 90%. So that's why I like that feature. And I think that feature is very important for event photography. To snap and hold a speaker's face is extremely important, especially in low light conditions. And that is where I find myself using features like that. often. I need to hold that user's face or that speaker's face as they parade across stage back and forth and do all of this funny stuff that they want to do. I need to be able to lock on their face and snap away and only focus on expressions and getting great images. My feature number 3 that's been mentioned, but people are not really saying much about it, is real-time autofocus for video. They're saying that the autofocus capability is not just for photos, but it's also for videos. Real-time autofocus, and it looks sick compared to the videos I've seen, some of the reviews I've seen. I'm sorry, guys, I don't have 1 million subscribers yet, so I don't get invited to cool stuff to go there and keep it real with you guys. However, one day, you know, maybe. But from what I've seen, the real-time autofocus on video is amazing. Now, there are some things you need to know. And my opinion has always been that Canon only had 2 things over Sony: color science and autofocus. And I believe that Sony they're going after these 2 things. Normally with the Venice color, which is not reported to be on this camera, and with the autofocus. And I think Sony has eliminated the gap of autofocus when it comes to this particular feature on this camera. They've eliminated the dual pixel autofocus gap with their handheld cameras, their mirrorless, their DSLRs. So that's one thing that Canon guys can't say, well, we got the best autofocus. Nah, because it's not even locking on eyes like the Sony version is. And that is amazing. So those are the 3 features. You know, you can almost say 2B and 2A features, but those are the top 3 features that popped out to me. And after doing some research, I don't understand why they aren't getting as much attention, though I may have an idea as far as the video side of it. This is the extreme super portrait / landscape camera that's available on the market. And for the price of around $3,500, you can't beat it. Guys have been spending $4,000 for 5D Mark IIIs and 4s when they launched for years and didn't bat an eye. However, this camera is a whole lot better in the perfect price range. And you know, after about 8 months, it's going to drop to about the $2,800 mark, as they usually do. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that those are the top 3 features based off what you've seen? Did you guys expect this camera? I didn't expect this camera. I could have named 4 other cameras that I expected before I expected an update to this camera. Did it catch you by surprise? Let's talk in those comments, and I will see you guys on the next video.